Hey Tids, how you doing? Oof. Ooh, risotto, lovely. Well, I'm sorry to hear you're having a bad pain day. But risotto's good. Take the wins where we get them, I guess. Yeah, I'm doing okay. I'm alive. Let's... I've currently got a Porthos pressing himself into me. Hang on. Let's see if... I don't know if you can really see that on camera, but he's just shoving himself into me. Because he's a big baby. Truly the most comfortable position. For him, maybe. Definitely not for me. Oof, smelly breath. Oof. Indeed, Tids. Hey, Kian, how you doing? Thank you, Squig friend. There we go. You might be able to see, just barely in the background here, that my paints have separated over the course of the last week. So I'm just gonna remix them, because they're still usable when they go like that. It's the beauty of a wet palette. Even if they separate a little bit, you can just mix them back together. And then you've got a perfect little puddle of paint. I should probably mix the other ones too. It's like really noticeable with this brown here, because if I mix that, look how bright it gets then. It's just all the pigment sort of settling at the bottom, I think. I think that's the order that it's happening in. Reinstalled CNC1 to take the fight to those nutties. Red alert was hell in my opinion. Fair. Hey Torpor. Yeah, the bot on my Discord has a little bit of a lag on it, mostly because if you start a stream up and then immediately Twitch shits itself, people don't get multiple notifications.
To see your notifications,
swipe
down from the
bugger off, Siri. Smart technology, eh? This is actually supposed to be in Do Not Disturb mode, so I'm just gonna put it into that. Oh, it is in Do Not Disturb mode, it just decided to disturb me anyway. Helpful. Yes, Porthos, you're beautiful and adorable and smelly, but I need my hands. You can still sit here. No. But I need both of my hands so I can paint. I'm sorry. Will you ever forgive me? That's a no. Thank you for the scritches for Porthos, Torpor. I'm not going to give him treats for a bit because he's just eaten, so... But he gets good quality under the collar scritches. And the dog has melted. Beautiful, adorable, smelly. That's a campaign slogan. It is, isn't it, Kian? Yeah, there you go. It takes a few minutes. Basically, the reason I've got the bot there is because I'm too lazy to post in multiple Discords. And I have control over that one. So... Also, hello Torpor, how are you doing? I don't think I asked because I immediately answered your question instead of doing my normal thing. So I hope you're well today, friend. Okay. I think that's all of the grey areas, no pun intended. Oh, that's great news, Tids. Congratulations to them from me. That is okay. From when I got my PIP approved, I know it's a massive weight off of your mind when you finally get the letter saying that you've been approved and that you're going to be getting that support, even if it's only a little bit. It's so important. Daft as it may sound, like, mine pays for prescriptions, it pays for specialist stuff I have to have because of the side effects of my meds. It doesn't stretch very far, but it stretches. Still waiting on mine, but hey, it's still something. Hopefully you'll hear back about yours soon. I mean, it might be worth giving him a bell and seeing if they've made any progress with it. Or dropping them an email if you can. Because, you know, who wants to talk to people on the phone? Yeah. People. Ugh. Right. What was I going to do? Ah, right. That needs mixing. Oh, Porthos, you big cuddly baby. Can't even handle emails. That's fair, Kian. I had yesterday off because I was getting my COVID booster, and I'd got a couple of days of leave that, hey Cypher, how you doing, that I needed to use, otherwise I would just lose them at the end of the year. So I thought, fuck it, I'll just take the day off, I'll play some video games, I'll relax, I'll just have a me day. And then I'll go for my COVID booster. And I came back. Fucking hell, that made me jump. Thank you for the reminder there, Torpor. Only scared the shit out of me a little bit. That one's quite loud. And yes, hydration, also very important. I am drinking coffee, because it's been one of those days. Oh, Tids, could you give Kian some jukebox tokens, please? Thank you. Okay, now my palette looks a bit better. Like, we've got some different colours going on there instead of just puddles of grey. Drinking wine because it's been one of those days. See, I can't do that midweek. If I could, I would. But I really shouldn't. Especially not at the minute. There's a lot of stuff going off that means I need to have my wits about me during the week. Unfortunately. You getting down now? No? Make your mind up, sweetheart. Oh. Hey, psychologist, how you doing? Drinking Pepsi Max because it's a day that ends in Y. Yeah, that's fair. I drink Iron Brew every day that ends in Y. Puddles of Grey, Puddle of Mud tribute band name. Hey Wheezy, how you doing? Bye, Porthos. There we go. The boy has left the chair. So now you're stuck with me. Okay. So, we've got the base of grey down. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to paint his face and everything. Hey, Rocket. Nope, started on time. Actually, I think I might have been a minute late. There's a puddle of... there's a band I didn't want to remember. Yeah, that's fair. Oh yeah, no, the pirate radio stuff's fine, Rocket. Had a meeting with the RFU today. RFU, Cypher? You'll have to... I'm drowning in acronyms. Muddle of Pud, indeed. Hey Modhell, how you doing? Oh, thank you, Kian. So, yeah, I'm gonna try and paint his face first, and then I'm gonna put the base coat on everything else. Rugby Football Union. Ah, right. Yeah, I never would have guessed that. I'm pulling up a picture of a raccoon on my phone to make sure that I paint the correct bits the correct colours. You'd think I'd know this off by heart by now, but nope. Oh, Modhale. Big hugs. I'm sorry to hear that. I hope everything's okay. For the record, Rasputin, really weird guy. Nobody really liked him all that much. He got into a lot of land disputes with his neighbours. He was the biggest drunkard you've ever seen. Yeah. But also partial to the occasional orgy. So the song isn't inaccurate. Oh gosh, Rocket, I'm so sorry to hear that. That's That's really unfortunate. And yeah, that's fair, Cypher. They really should stop doing that. Okay, so you know what I'm doing, because I normally talk you folks through what I'm up to. So I'm going to use Elfic Flesh Game Colour to do the white areas on the raccoon's face, because it's not actually white, it's a sort of off-white colour. Close enough, Tids. And they did more than just poison him. Like, they really tried to kill this guy. And it didn't work. Oh god, I've not heard this in a while. Yes. This is one from last week, isn't it? Gold stars to whoever put this in. Perfect for what we're doing. Ghostbusters had a really fucking good soundtrack. Okay, so I loaded the Psycho up there, and I'm now spreading that paint out a little bit to try and make it look, what's the word, sort of fluffy, so it's not just a straight white line. It's kind of eyebrowy. Hey Jake, how you doing? Thanks for the corpse you threw at me yesterday. Oh, it's not bravery. If anything, it's stupidity. Yeah, not too bad, not too bad. Killed him once, didn't stick. Killed him twice, didn't stick. Killed him 5 times at once. Finally got the message. Yeah. Like, they thought that... But by the end, they thought he was completely untouchable because, like, they tried poisoning him, they tried stabbing him, but I think the thing was he drank so much over the course of his life that he'd basically pickled all of his insides. So his tolerance for the poison was way higher than a normal human being's of his age. And, you know, he was probably already suffering from a fair amount of internal bleeding from cirrhosis. So, you know... Rasputin, very interesting fella to read about. Very, very interesting fella to read about. Comical. Oh, the Psycho is going to get a workout on this boy. This is some weak shit. Yeah, exactly. Man had more problems than a few stabbings and poisonings. Indeed, he really did. I think that looks pretty good, actually. Yeah, that's about in focus, I think. Loving the music tonight. I think one of the nice things about painting fur is that it doesn't have to be tidy. I mean, I say that about a lot of stuff, like when I'm painting the squigs and stuff, but it's really anything that's got that sort of more natural element to it. You can be a little bit messy. Because nature is messy. And it does not give a shit for your order. Rasputin, independent devil summoner, immigrated in 1920s Japan. Yeah. Really good choices in the jukebox tonight, folks. I mean, I'm in a really chipper mood as well, so maybe that's part of it, but no, really enjoying the music choices tonight. Ooh, this is going to be awkward. GDI intensifies. It's part of the church sect that believed one could only truly worship God free of temptation, and the only way to get rid of temptation was to give in to it. Yeah, hence the boozing and the orgies. Like I said, it's a fascinating fella to read about. But also, he had this sort of like bottom tier comic book villain vibe going on. Yeah, this is going to be difficult because the PKE meat is kind of in the way of where I would put the paintbrush to do this side. So this is going to get a bit awkward. I'm actually gonna use a tiny little bit of water and thin this bit down, because hot damn, this is going to be trouble otherwise. Like, it already is trouble. Yeah, that's a mess. But that's okay. We can fix it. So what I might do with this side is get sort of a hint of where I want the white to be, and then grey out if I go over it. It'd help if you stayed on the painting handle there. Gotta admit, there we go. Okay, who wants a little bit of Hob Deep lore? The first CD I ever bought with my own money had this song on it. I was about 11, 12, I think, ish. And at that point in time, Kerrang used to release mix discs of the most popular tracks of the year or whatever. Not attached to their magazine, but actual produced compilation albums. And hey, there's no wrong with that, Geist. Also, hello, how you doing? Okay, let's try and tidy this up a little bit now. And there was a couple of tracks on the album in question that I really liked. So I'd heard them a lot on the radio. And this was on there. If I'm not mistaken, this may have actually been the first track on the album as well. So I have weirdly fond memories of this song. There we go, that's better. Get rid of that little fleck of white that I spilt there. There we go, that's not too bad. It's not even on both sides, but it doesn't have to be. We'll do a little bit more just here, because it's a little more faded than I would like it to be. Bit of wonk never hurt anyone. Exactly. I mean, one of the things they teach you when you study art is that no human face is perfectly symmetrical. And it's basically the same for everything else as well. In fact, when something is symmetrical, perfectly symmetrical, like a human face, we get weirded out by it. That's where the Uncanny Valley stuff comes in. Hey Buff, how you doing? Apparently, if things are too perfect, they upset us. I've switched up from my Psycho brush. Yes. Let's see how I did it on that side. Okay. There we go. That's better. Hey Shay, how you doing? Just going to drink the rest of my coffee before it goes completely cold. Right. We need a different brush for what I'm about to do. I think this one. Okay. So. Oh. Yeah, I think Twi'lek. But the Uncanny Valley thing, apparently at some point in the past there was a reason for humans to develop a way to detect things that looked almost human but not quite, and be afraid of that. That is not a good thought. No, indeed. Makes you wonder, doesn't it? There's a solid horror story plot there, I'm sure. For anybody that is inclined to write. It was the Institute, yeah. So, raccoons have like white fluff on the outside of their arms. The brush I'm using isn't a branded one, it's just a standard acrylic paint brush. Does it say what size it is? I think that's a 2/0. Can't tell, I've had these brushes for so long. But yeah, this brush is basically knackered, as you can tell. So, with a little bit of paint on it, look how frayed it is. I can make a sort of fluffy furry look on the arms. And then on the back of the hands, I want a bit more of a solid white colour. Only a little bit more solid though. So I've gone back to the Psycho for this. This may not work. Hey D-Mac, how you doing? yeah, if anybody's wondering what the statistically most beautiful face looks like, it has its features on a golden ratio. Because whether you like maths or not, statistically most beautiful face. Sorry, not live right now. Brilliant, DMAC. Gold stars, mate. Oh, I don't have a good joke button on this this setup. I'll have to fix that at some point. But yeah, well done, mate. Genius. Is it your mum? Yes, my mum is very beautiful. I love my mum to bits. She's brilliant. Yep, joke, sure. I was listening to this earlier. Hey, Grox, how you doing? Okay, we need a little more paint than that. Yeah, same mod hell. Every time I hear this. Though I don't have the space to do his dance when I'm listening to this. Because I'm usually either in the shower or in the kitchen cooking. It's definitely a boogieing song though. Finally beat the GDI Commando mission. Nice one, Buff. That may be the one that I got stuck on. So I'm gonna put a little bit of the grey back on top now. I'm basically really unevenly layering up the paint. in the hopes that it gives it a sort of layers of fur look. Fabulous. Who do I blame for this one? There we go. This is the grey that I'm using now is Mechanicus Standard Grey. Cypher committed this crime. So the grey I was using as the base coat is Eshin Grey. So this is just gonna give it a little bit of, for want of a better description, a highlight. Punish them, but the Twi'lek has been thrown off. That's fair. So raccoon ears are really weird because they have lots of different coloration on them. So I'm going to make this one's ears sort of pale. What do I use to prime minis? I don't use rattle cans because I'm asthmatic, and even a little bit of rattle can paint getting into my lungs is going to set me off because I am weak. I don't have an airbrush, so all of my minis are primed with Green Stuff World Matte Primer. I've only got the black one at the moment, but they do about 8 different colours now. Including a white one and like a bleached bone type one. And one coat, I don't need to thin it or anything. It goes on really smooth. Like this has all been primed with Green Stuff World Black Primer. And it's just glorious, look at that. I haven't lost a single bit of detail with it. I used to, like, before, prime all my minis with Citadel black paint. I don't know what it's called now. Can't remember what it was called back then either, to be fair. It's been that long since I've used it. Really, really like this soundtrack. Yeah, that's actually worked out way nicer than I expected it to, and has done exactly what I wanted. Look at that. So actually quite a nice little gradient between the white and the grey. There. Doing what I did. Chaos Black. Thank you, Cypher. But yeah, since I started using the Green Stuff World stuff, because I bought it on a whim because it was on special offer when I was buying some other paints from them. And I thought, you know what, why not? Because I'm going through pots of Chaos Black at a rate of knots. Hey RNG, how you doing? So it can't hurt to just give this stuff a try, because it comes in a big bottle. And it's cheap, so if it's not very good, it's not like I've spent the kind of money that I would on a Citadel paint pot for it. So it should be fine. And I've never looked back. Because frankly it's way better than anything that Citadel paints have put out ever. Well, that I've used anyway. Can't talk about the really early stuff because I wasn't painting back then. For some of us I wasn't even alive. That's better. No, actually, let's just... I'll have a little bit of the Mechanicus Grey. There we go. Ears done. Just giving you a bit more light. Doing alright. I'm glad to hear it, RNG. I am going to have to shift myself now though, because I've moved the lamp right in front of my line of sight of the miniature. Professional. Thank you, Squig friend. Yes! Okay. There we go. Okay. Now we've got to do the bit that I'm nervous about. Not with that though. Ugh. I'm going to get a little bit of my primer, and I mean a really little bit. Oops, sorry camera. I'm being really careful about this, so this might take a while. There we go. Okay, that's actually worked better than I thought it would. I'm going to be saying that a lot while I'm painting this guy. Okay. So, raccoons have black eyes, which means technically I shouldn't paint his eyes. But he's going to look weird if I don't, so I think what I'm going to do is get a little bit of Spaceship Exterior, which is a sort of grey-white. And I'm going to try really hard to do a little bit of, like, shine. This may not go very well. Tiniest bit of paint on the brush. Yeah, that's a little too much. There we go. Okie doke, Teds. I think to give it a little bit of difference from everything around it, I'm just gonna yeah, that works. So what I've done is I've brushed a tiny little bit of grey onto the eyelid. I don't know if I'm going to be able to show you because no, I can't really, not safely. But yeah, I brushed a tiny little bit of grey onto the bottom eyelid, just so that it's got like a little bit of a highlight. And then what I'll do is I've got some gloss varnish somewhere, and I'll gloss just the eyes so that they've got that sort of natural sheen to them that eyes have. I think I might bring the black fur out a little bit as well. Yeah, I think that looks a little better. Now to do the same thing on the other side and hope I don't cock it up. Oops. A little too much paint on my brush there. That's fine. We will grey it back out. Best thing about using primer for stuff like this is that it takes paint really well. I will do, Torpor. I was gonna post in progress shots last week, but I was going to do a bit more work on him before this week, and because of fireworks I didn't get the opportunity to, because I had to look after Porthos. So I will try and put some in progress shots up tonight. I'm sorry if you can't see much at the minute, folks. I'm trying to use the light to my advantage so that I can actually see what I'm doing. There we go. I'm thinking about also putting a little bit of brown. Oh, hey, Nikki. That's okay, sweetheart. You go get some rest. Thank you for popping your head in, and thank you very much for the wish of a good stream. I hope you're feeling better soon. I have made a bit of a mistake with the raccoon picture that I've got. It's only the top half of the raccoon. Welcome back, Tids. Thank you, Squig friend. Right. On the plus side, I have a folder full of raccoon pictures on my phone. One of them is bound, there we go, to have the angle I need. Now, I am taking some liberties with the realism of his tail, but he's a raccoon ghostbuster, so oh, the disco ball. Disco ball's great. Right. So, raccoon tails normally have quite thin stripes. But, like I said, being a little bit loose with the realism here. But I don't think it really matters, seeing as I'm painting a Ghostbuster. This knackered brush is actually doing really nice sort of fur feathering, which is very pleasing. Oh god, I'm going to have to get a picture of the proton pack, aren't I? Oops. Little too much paint then. That's fine. We can fix that. There we go. Not so bad now. Not perfect, but does the job. So yeah, I think I'm probably going to dry brush a light brown onto all of the pale bits. Maybe even I might dry brush a little bit of a dark brown onto the black bits. Maybe not the face though, because I don't want to touch that. There we go. Oops, bit too much paint again. That's fine. Oops, hit the button too hard. Oh, posture check and stretch. Give me a second, Mod Help. Let me just... Thank you for the stretch. Ow! Oh, you bastard! Ow! And thank you for the posture check. It's very, very important to keep an eye on your posture when you're painting, because you do tend to hunch over. So thank you for that. Oh, Wonder Boy! Wonderful. No pun intended. Yeah, the "oh you bastard," by the way, is because my arm is sore from my booster, and I forget every time I stretch that I've had it done, which is not helpful. Okay, so raccoon legs tend to be darker, so I think what I'll do is I'll actually get a little bit of the primer on my wet palette, and a little bit of the Eshin Grey, and mix them together to make a darker grey. Yeah, that should do. And then I'm going to use the same knackered brush again. I'm not going to put too much on there. With mind bullets. That's telekinesis, Kyle. Fucking love this song. Oh yeah, I watched the second new Jumanji film last week. Surprisingly enjoyable. Like, I watched the first new Jumanji film thinking it was probably going to be a bit but that was fine, you know. Something I could turn my brain off to. And, no, it was actually reasonably enjoyable for a brain off film. Yeah, you definitely should, Tits. I got a text message to say I could book for mine. It was basically, you are at greater risk. Book your appointment now or die. It wasn't quite that on the nose, but it did start with, you are at risk, in all caps. Which is not really the text message you want to get first thing on a Monday morning. Especially not when you've just come back off holiday. Started playing Dishonored 2. Still bugs me that Corvo gets his super science mask. Emily is stuck with a telescope and a silk scarf. Oh my god, that's dumb. Okay. Let's make that a little darker. We are definitely going to have to put some brown on the legs to give it a bit more texture. Yeah, it was worded something like that, Torpor. But the first line of it was in all caps. Sounds like a classic urgency play to me. Yeah, indeed, DMAC. I've got to admit, when I got the text message, I was just like, well, this doesn't seem suspicious in the fucking slightest, does it? Book your appointment now. Go to this link. If it wasn't for the fact that it was from my surgery, and, like, I've got their number saved, I would have been very about the whole thing. Because there's so many scams that have cropped up because of COVID. There we go. Hey Sheridan, how you doing? I think, as well, I'll put, like, an extra layer of brown on his little quiff. Because Egon's got dark curly hair, so it makes sense that the Egon raccoon would have, like, a little dark curly bit. Bit on edge today. Oh, I'm sorry to hear that. NHS scam pro tip. If the website looks like it functions, it's probably a scam. Everyone knows the NHS can't build a website to save themselves. Fucking tell me about it. I had a colleague who left the job that we were at, so that he could go and work for the NHS on their migration programme. And he came back. He was like, "No, fuck this noise, I'm out of here." Sorry, he was just like, "Nah, I can't do this. I need the safety blanket of my old job back. Please let me back in." It was so funny. Excuse me, my nose is running. Yeah, I'm sorry to hear you're feeling a bit on edge, Sheridan. Hopefully you can sort of relax and feel a little less on edge here. Seriously, some absolute belters in the jukebox tonight. You folks have got good taste. I'm having a good time. Can you tell? Oh! You know, I was talking about mixing paints and, come on, Brain. Them separating on the wet palette earlier. Can you folks see that vaguely dark blue paint there? Go get him, Prime. Yeah. Oh no, Optimus Prime died. Thank you, Squig Friend. This is not blue paint. It's gold. I know you probably still can't tell, but yeah. It's gold paint. But when the metallic paints separate, they go the top layer goes this sort of pearlescent blue colour, which is really pretty. It's a shame it's not actually paint. Hasbro was surprised at all the letters they got asking them to bring back Optimus. Really? Wow. Oh, speaking of Hasbro, for those that didn't see my tweet the other day, yesterday in fact, last year Hasbro, through their HasLab crowdfunding platform, set up a fund for a brand new HeroQuest game. For those that don't know, HeroQuest was a Milton Bradley and Games Workshop board game, dungeon crawler. If I'm not mistaken, it may well have been the first dungeon crawling board game, and there's fucking loads of the damn things now. But it was proper like old school sword and sorcery. And if any of you haven't seen the Bardic Broadcast's HeroQuest unboxing, I highly recommend it. It's hilarious. But anyway, the US one, Mod Hail. I will get onto the Spanish one in a moment because that is part of this story. In fact, fuck it. This is easier this way. So, HasLab. Oh no, Mormons! Yes, we actually have that as a alert, as a sound file that you can use on this channel. Because I really love that video. The best thing about HeroQuest is migrating across numerous fundraising platforms. So, the official one, the Hasbro one. They set up this crowdfunding thing for it, and it did really well. The only problem was, it was very expensive, and for a little while, people in Europe didn't even know if they could get it. And then, by the time Hasbro had actually confirmed what was going on when it came to shipping to Europe, the fund had already ended. I was very lucky. My mum got me a copy of it for my birthday that year. I've still not received it, but it was my birthday present. My 30th birthday present was HeroQuest. Because I'm one of those nerds. But they announced yesterday that they are going to be producing it for general release in Europe. So if any of you wanted to get in on that and couldn't, or just didn't for whatever reason, there you go. You will be able to purchase it. Or, if you're in the UK, you can pre-purchase it or pre-order it through Alchemist's Workshops, who are an absolutely fucking brilliant mini supplier. And it will be available in other parts of Europe as well. I don't know the details for outside of the UK because I'm based in the UK, so sorry about that. But anyway, that's that side of the story. But there's also the dodgy Spanish one that Modhel mentioned. So there was a company who had the rights to the name in Spain so that they could distribute across Europe. And they set up a Kickstarter. But due to rights conflicts with another property with the same name, owned by Steve Jackson Games, the Kickstarter got shut down. So they moved to a different Spanish crowdfunding platform. And then it came out that they maybe didn't necessarily have all of the rights that they needed to produce this new Hero Quest. And this is 6 years ago, I think. The rights to the name in Spain stayed mainly on the plane. Indeed, Wheezy, they did. Yeah, so that got funding. But then the company went dark. And lots of stuff started happening. We didn't get any production updates. I was one of the idiots that backed it. We didn't get any production updates. There was all this other shit going off with it. Yeah, they went to Indiegogo, and then they went to Lanzanos. But the Indiegogo got shut down within 24 hours. But yeah, so they got funding through Lanzanos. But then a whole host of shit happened. And 6 years down the line, nobody that backed it has had their money back or had their board game. But yesterday, I got an email from them saying that they have now renounced the rights to the Hero Quest brand over to Hasbro. They've renamed their board game to Seo Quest. It's basically Quest. It's a palindrome. And that anybody who backed their campaign has the choice between having their board game, Hasbro's board game, or both. Quest. So, yeah, light at the end of the tunnel, maybe. I mean, I'm happy I'm getting a Hasbro one either way. Thanks to my mum. Mum Squig, you rock. But there's a possibility that all that money that I spent on a 25th anniversary copy of Hero Quest that I could play with my friends and my mother, because I grew up playing Hero Quest with my parents, I may actually get it. Finally. Like 6 or 7 years later. We'll see. But yeah, it's very, very interesting. If you want to read about it, I think there's like an entire archive of all the bullshit that's gone off with that particular company available on Board Game Geek in the forums. Really interesting stuff. Anyway, story time's over. Let's get back to painting Egon the raccoon. I do have Tabletop Simulator, but it's just not quite the same, you know, guys? And my mum doesn't have Tabletop Sim. I don't think she'd do too well with it, to be honest with you. She's not good with tech. Oh yeah, massive fucking shitstorm, Tids. It was an absolute mare. Right, I am gonna not paint the raccoon for a bit. I'm gonna paint his armour. Now I think right Rakarth flesh may be the closest I've got to a Ghostbuster jumpsuit. Because they're kind of like a tan flight suit. So, give it a shake because I've not used it in a while. You could tell because it was separated in the bottle. As a reminder, all of my Citadel paints are in dropper bottles. They are pre-thinned. Megatron 1993, thank you very much for the follow. Welcome to the stream. Hope you're having a good day. Yeah, all these are pre-thinned with Liquitex Flow-Aid. And the dropper bottles have ball bearings in, so when I shake them, you can hear the ball bearings rattling about inside. Dropper bottles, ball bearings, and a little bit of Flow-Aid is my preferred approach to storing paints, just because you've got a lot more control over how much paint you put on your palette. You don't have to thin them, so you've got a consistent level of thinning. If you need to thin it out more, you can put a little bit of water in, but you've got a naturally consistent level of thinning in your paint. And they just survive longer. This is a really good cover. Broken Peach. Never heard of them. Okay. So the armour pieces are actually quite chunky. So I'm going to use my detail brush for this. Honestly, this is why I love Flow-Aid so much. Because I have never had a pale Citadel paint go on smooth like that. Single coat, lovely and smooth. I'm not a big fan of Citadel paints now. I've tried other ones, but there are ways you can make them work for you, in my experience. I will never be a fan of the Citadel paint pots though, because they are designed in such a way that your paints will dry out really quickly. Some of you may have seen on Twitter recently Christina Amelon, who is the wonderful artist behind my little raccoon avatar. Among many other things as well. Has had to hang up her painting hat, as it were, after painting only one miniature, because all of her paints have dried up. Because she lives in the Philippines. I think it's the Philippines? Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's the Philippines she lives in. And those paint pots are not designed to protect paint from that kind of weather. I mean, you know, they dry up in the pots that I've got, like, they dry up here. I live in the Midlands. This is the climate those paints were designed to thrive in, and they still dry up really quickly. So I can't imagine how awful it must be for her. I'm actually half tempted to talk to her about me posting her some dropper bottled paints. Like, I will dropper bottle them for her. I will put some Flow-Aid in them for her. And I will just send her the paints that she had before. But in a format that might survive a little longer. I can't do it right now because I'm skint. But yeah, I might have a chat with her about that. Because being denied the joy of painting your little plastic dudes because of the fucking weather and a lack of access to paints is just super sucky, you know? And she did a really good job on Gregory as well. Like, not that I expect anything else from such a talented artist, but I've always found the even if you're in your underwear, sing loud and proud thing really funny, because if I'm knocking about in my underwear, I'm more likely to be singing loud and proud anyway. Dance like nobody's watching, sing like nobody's listening. To the grinding gears. I'm guessing SPG was put in here by Wheezy. Okie dokie, Cypher, you take care. Thanks for popping in tonight. It's been lovely to have you here. Hey, no wrong with that, Wheezy. I am always happy to hear what people want to listen to, unless it's shitposty. Oh no! I'm trying to be restrained. Fair play. The one downside to being a shaky person is that occasionally you'll put paint where you didn't want it, and that's okay. I mean, there we go. It's usually something fixable. Yeah, I think Rakarth Flesh is perfect, isn't it? We'll dirty it up a little bit once I've got the base coats on. Because who's ever heard of a Ghostbuster in a clean suit? Their belts are the same colour. Oh wow, Wheezy. Yeah, I would definitely count that as shitposty. I'm sorry you've been blighted with that horrendous tune for 4 days. My current earworms I've had for 3 days. But, well, one of them I've had for about 3 days. The other one I've had for a month. But they're preferable to even a day of the Thomas the Tank Engine song. It put Streetlight in. Good choice for the record, whoever it was. No, no chair skanking whilst you're painting, because you'll get paint everywhere. Having to work on Blade Guard veterans. Oh. I take it by the having that you're not having a good time of it, Megatron. Also, how do you feel about being called Megs? Because I call actual Megatron Megs, so if you're okay with it, I will continue the trend. Hey, Ray. It is exactly that. How are you doing? Had to build them first. I'm okay with it as I don't really mind, unless it's D&D mode. And I go into character mode. Ah, fair play, Megs. Cool. Yeah, Megatron is my favourite character, and I don't know why. As a result, I always just, like, yeah, Megs. Are you not a big fan of the building side of things, or is it just that they're... You want to get to the painting? Knockout called him Big M in one episode of Prime. Megatron was big in that show. Yeah. I didn't see all of Prime, but I did enjoy what I saw of it. I should finish watching it at some point. Knockout is fantastic, yeah. Ah, fair play, Megs. I quite like building stuff. I also like painting stuff. But I have all sorts of crazy ideas when I'm building things. It's just like... Oh! Shit, I'm using the wrong paint. Crisis averted. Shh. No one will ever know. Except for anybody that watches the VOD. Yeah, I have all sorts of crazy ideas when I'm building stuff. Like, hang on a minute. Folks that have watched my happy hours before will probably remember this fella. But I started building my Sylvaneth Tree Lord and on stream, and couldn't decide which variant I wanted to build, and it came down to I couldn't even decide which weapon I wanted for him. So I took the staff and I took the sword and I made a glaive. Because why the fuck not? And I love doing stuff like that. So building can be quite fun. But I kind of take the approach of if I don't try, then I won't know. Some killer heals, yeah. Absolutely fucking amazing heals. Like, I wish I could walk in heels like that. Oh, Modhail. I'm so sorry to hear that, mate. That fucking sucks. That's the one that's been postponed twice, I think, already, isn't it? I mean, it's good that they're being safe, but that really sucks. Oh, Ray. Big hugs. That also fucking sucks. Bless you. Oh, Ray. Oh, awesome, Megs. Feel free to pop a link to your Insta in chat. I love looking at other people's work. Like, even if it's work in progress, I just love seeing other people's hobby stuff. And not just, like, miniatures and stuff either. Like, if you like to sew. Or Tids Mods Guns, which is really cool. Airsoft weaponry, yeah, okay, I should have clarified there. Tids Mods Airsoft weaponry. But they are very, very cool. I think you built a bass guitar as well, didn't you? Not actual firearms, yeah. Sorry. Please forgive the peasant not knowing to clarify the difference. Like, I knew what I meant, but yeah. Oh, it was a 6-string, was it? Sorry. I don't know why I thought it was a base. Modhell does some absolutely amazing 3D printing stuff. Ray, as his username suggests, is a writer. We've got a couple of long-term DMs in the channel as well, who occasionally share updates about their RP campaigns. So yeah, we've got a wonderful breadth of different kinds of hobby stuff, and I love hearing about it all. I like seeing what makes other people happy. If you're enjoying something, if you're experiencing the joy of something, oh no, oh that were close. Oh, that's brilliant, Megs. I love the colour scheme. Very nice. Follow. There were no squig rules in Wrath and Glory, so I started making some. Awesome buff. That's what I like to hear. We love a good squig here. Yeah, Kian, your Hero Forge minis are amazing. Like, there is no one way to be creative, and if you've got a thing that you love doing that lets you be creative in a way that you like, then I fucking love that. Speedrunners suffer a 5-second penalty every time they smile or show enthusiasm during a run. Is that a legit thing, DMAC? Oh yeah, DMAC is one of those strange folks that punishes themselves by playing video games really quickly. And he's pretty good at it too. His speedrun streams are always really fun to watch. Omelette acquired. Wicked rocket. What kind of omelette is it? Ooh, that'll be interesting, Tids. It is speed law, yes. See, I don't think you'd lie to me. I trust you. You're my friend. Your cat likes me. You know. But it just feels like such a mean, arbitrary rule to not be allowed to enjoy the game you're playing. Smiling is inefficient. He's talking out of his arse. Thank you, Longfang. How you doing? What would I do without you here, eh, Longfang? D-Mac could be lying to me about all sorts of weird speedrunning rules. Ah, lurking were you? Whew. I tell you what, it's nice to be in a good mood for once. Like, I had some proper hardcore brain gremlins the last few days. But I'm feeling alright today. Which is really quite refreshing. Yeah, I've had some shit going on in my brain, and work has been bad for the last few weeks, so I can kind of understand why, but at the same time, you know. But I hope your brain gremlins fuck off soon too, Tids. Oh, rocket you, sweetie. Hugs back, and hugs from me for anyone that wants or needs them. This is looking okay. I am okay with the way this looks. Oh, Barracuda! Indeed. Barracuda is a really great track, to be fair. This has been a really good night for the jukebox. He's got a hole in his arm. That's really annoying. Come on. Let's get some paint in you. Just doing his shoulder now. Oh! No matter how small the odds, Ray, you've still got a chance. And I hope you're successful. A friend of mine who lives in New Zealand is a writer. She, correction. They, Bad Hob, they got an award for their horror story collection recently. It's a fucking good horror story collection as well. Very, very talented writer. Can't remember the name of the award. It was a New Zealand and Australia. I think it was both of them. Indie authors thing. Think it was both. I don't fucking know. I'm bad at remembering things. Not the Stokers. No, it wasn't a Stoker. Though I think they're aiming for that. I mean, who wouldn't? Possibly Ray? But yeah, it's really nice to see them getting all that success, because, well, bench stuff for the Soakers before when I found out I could. Ah, wicked. I got a little bit of the Rakarth on the Proton pack there, so I'm just going to primer that out. It's like reverse Tipex. I am going to try and finish up roughly on time today. It was an award from the Australian Horror Writers Association. It was Australian. Oh, there we go. Thank you, Wheezy, for clarifying that for me. I think they've had a few awards now, haven't they? Hey, Sinister, how you doing? Put some pics of my swords in the Discord if anyone... Oh, I like swords. But yeah, I'm going to try and finish up on time today because I need to go and sort myself out with some food. And then I've got a dragon to anxiously stare at from the opposite side of a bridge until I pluck up the courage to go over the bridge. They've definitely finalised a few times. Yeah, they have. The thing is that their writing is... It's so fresh. Yes, I am, Tids. Yeah, I've not plucked up the courage to actually cross the bridge, because I was like, ooh, there's things on that bridge, I'm going to go fight them. And then there weren't things on that bridge anymore, except for a dragon that appeared. So that was a thing. Hey, Spartan! Oh, I'm so sorry to hear you're not feeling well. You take care, get some rest, and drink plenty of fluids. See, I'm pretty sure that's not true, Tids. A dragon that appeared. Yes, hello, I just arrived. Hey, Hans. How you doing? Yes, I started playing Dark Souls yesterday on my day off. And frankly, if I hadn't had work today, I probably would have stayed up all night playing it because I was having a lot of fun. I have never played any of the Dark Souls games before. Any of the Souls games at all, in fact. But I've been watching Longfang playing Bloodborne and kind of went, this looks really fun, but I can't afford it right now. So, what I will do is see if I have any of the Dark Souls games on my computer and play those instead. And I only had the third one up until yesterday. When I was very generously gifted a copy by a certain shitbag, who I appreciate very much, but still, But yeah, I am absolutely loving it. It's exactly my kind of style, and I'm liking being able to just sort of wander around and not like I don't have to fight anything if I don't want to. I can take my time, I can explore, can work on my parrying. So I'm still not very good at that. There we go. I think that's the armour about done. Got a couple of little bits on the edges there to do, and then we should be good. Yeah, blocking is also coming in very handy for when I completely fail to parry. And there's also rolling. Rolling's always good. Except for when you're on a narrow walkway. Right, doing those edge bits has resulted in me getting Rakarth flesh on the raccoon's legs. So once I've caught in these last little bits, I'm gonna tidy up the legs, and then I think we'll finish up there. Because I am kind of peckish. Oh shit, is this one from Blackstar? It is, isn't it? It's, oh fuck, which one is it? Lazarus? It's a really good album. Really fucking good album. That's because you have good taste, Wheezy. There we go. Lovely. He's starting to come together now. Oh, Blackstar's too long for the jukebox. How long is it? Because there's a 9-minute limit. I think I might... Just looking at my Ghostbusters picture, I have a picture of the Ghostbusters and a picture of a raccoon for colour references. Yeah, I think I might do the rivets in like a really dark grey, almost black, to match the sort of straps and stuff that they have. Because there isn't really any buttons or anything. They've got some... I think they're black as well, looking at that. Yeah. I may actually have... Fabulous, Ray. Yeah, I think I've actually got a black metal. And that's not me being... Hang on, where is it? Heavy metal, speed metal with 2 Ds, because they mistyped it. Where's black metal gone? Is that it? Black metal, there we go. So, I've been through this on the previous stream. Whilst I rate the paints that I'm about to show you, I do not rate the company, because they have some very questionable morals. So I've stopped buying their paint, but I can't, frankly, afford to buy new paint just because the company is an arsehole. So I'm just not going to give them any more money, and I'm going to use what I've got, and then try and find another supplier of really good metallic paints. Scale Colours Black Metal works really well for like push studs and stuff like that. So I'll probably use that for the rivets. Just to sort of try and stick with the theme as close as possible. Welcome back, Cypher. I'm actually just about to finish up. But yeah, he's made some good progress, I think. I don't want to go into too much detail on stream, if I'm honest with you, Kian, but suffice it to say they have some decidedly fashy leanings. And they've slipped up on multiple occasions, so it's not like it's an isolated incident. Which is really unfortunate because I absolutely adore their paints. Their paints are really nicely made, they apply really well, and they've got a wonderful selection of colours. But it's like I don't really want to support them anymore now that I've found out about this. It's one of the hardest things of being a hobbyist is finding out that a company that you really like a specific thing from, or a brand that does something that works really well for you, has these sort of questionable morals, because it's just like, I don't want to support you because I don't want to encourage that kind of behaviour in a community that, as far as I'm concerned, should be inclusive. Because what they're doing is trying to remove the inclusivity from the community, and I don't want any part in that. But your paints are so good, damn it! They got milkshake ducked. You know, I've never heard somebody actually use that phrase in a conversation before. I've just seen it like on Twitter and stuff. But yeah, that works. Yeah. Great paints, not so great people. Yeah, so Egon is coming along nicely. I think on Friday we'll get some more sort of layers onto the armour. Maybe we'll get some brown onto the fur as well. And then we'll start on the last bits, which are, of course, the ghost busting tech, the PKE meter, and the proton pack. Yeah, Longfang. Yep. That is exactly why you figured it out, I'm sure. And that was the translated name as well. Anyway, I am really, really pleased with how Egon's looking. I want to say a massive thank you again to Torpor, if you're still... No, it's fine, Sinister. For future reference, folks, if you are wondering what the sweet fuck I'm doing on stream, during a hobby stream, exclamation mark project will tell you. Yeah, I put that in because people kept going, what are you painting? It's like, well, I could tell you that, or I could just hit a button that tells you for me. Yeah. he's looking a lot better than I expected he would, and I'm really, really pleased about that. Like, he actually looks like a raccoon. Who'da thunkin'? Oh, chair, shush. There we go. I'm going to put the lid on my wet palette before I forget, and whilst I'm thanking everybody for coming along tonight. Yes, it's a PKE meter. Like, when I got these out of the box, yeah, massive thank you to Torpor if you're still there for sending me these in the first place, because they are absolutely wonderful, and I didn't know they existed until they turned up on my doorstep. But when I fished this one out, I was like, holy shit, it's Egon! It my boy! Because Egon's my favourite. Anyway. Massive thank you, everyone, for coming along today. I hope you've had a good time. I've certainly had a good time. And I'm really looking forward to getting back to painting Egon on Friday and hopefully finishing him. Won't that be exciting? Me finishing a miniature on stream for once. We are doing something a little out of the ordinary for our raid today. So, at the moment, there is a charity event running. A channel called Desert Bus. Desert Bus for Hope. Are streaming the bus driving sim, basically, from Penn and Teller's Smoke and Mirrors, raising funds for Child's Play Charity, who basically provide tech, video games, and financial support to kids in hospitals, not just in the States, but also oh dear. Mod hell, bless you. But also in the UK, and I believe also in Europe now. But they're an absolutely wonderful bunch of people, and they have been going for, last time I checked, 108 hours. It's probably a lot longer now. But every time they reach a financial milestone, I think it's like 7% of the total, they add another hour onto the length of time. So let's see. They've been going for 114 hours, and they are currently going to be going for a grand total of 158. That is absolutely amazing. They've raised over $600,000 already, which is just staggering. So we're going to raid them. I just wanted to give you the spiel first so that you knew why we were raiding these folks. But yeah, they're a wonderful bunch of people. They do a lot of fun stuff during these streams. And yeah, I highly recommend you give them a follow. Donate to Child's Play if you can. And yeah, just have fun. There we go. Right. Raid has started. So yeah, if you can all jump in and at least, you know, give them a hello, as it were. Wish them luck on their bussing endeavours. I'd really appreciate it. Right. I will be back on Friday with some more Hobby Happy Hour. We will hopefully be finishing Egon then. Again, a massive thank you to all of you for coming along today. I really do hope you've had a good time. I'm really enjoying painting this and hanging out with you all. It's a real nice breath of fresh air from the stuff I've been working on. So, until I see you all next, as always, take care of yourselves, take care of each other, wash your fucking hands, and have a great rest of your week, everybody. Bye.